Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tiara Nicole Riley. I am a motivational speaker, a 5 time published author, life coach, and owner of Rethinking Me, a life coaching firm. So, we are continuing in our intentionality series, and this may be the last one on the subject. We'll see what God got to say about it, but this is the last one I intend on the subject. And we are talking about intentional balance. Okay. Because with all the things that we're being intentional about, we must be intentional about balance. Now, before I get into the particulars, I just want to leave you with something that keeps me going. I juggle a lot of things, I wear many, many different hats. And balance is something that so I'm a Libra, so balance comes naturally, but I also try to be mindful of that as well. And a quote that I have sometimes, have written on my board back here, but also just carried in my heart. It's one day, 1 hour, one task at a time. All you can do is all you can do. Do not allow yourself to think about things that down the road, like it, one day, 1 hour, one task at a time. It'll all get done. Okay, let's get into it. So, intentional balance. The first thing we need to talk about when it comes to intentional balance is time and energy management. Now, I love talking about time management. It's something that I definitely think I do well with, but also I recognize it's the only commodity that we cannot re earn, right? And so when we think about time management, you can earn more money, you can earn more things, you can earn but you can never earn more time. So you have to be efficient with the time that you have. Now, hear me. Time management is not always about working every second of the day. Part of time management is energy management and making sure that we have time for rest, making sure that we're taking time for self care, all the things, right? But it's planning it. It's scheduling your rest and fun, just as if we schedule our business tasks, we schedule our work tasks, we schedule our vacation, like all of these things, like plan for it. You have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. She does all the things. Okay, like let's use our time efficiently, right? And let's go from there. Part of the conversation with energy management is making sure that we are mindful and tactical in using our energy. What do I mean by that? Gotcha. I am a morning person. I know that about myself. So, what that means is I have to ration out my energy, if you will, right? I'm an energy person, a morning person, and I'm also incredibly introverted. So I have to be mindful that first thing in the morning is for me and God. That's it. I wake up before my daughter wakes up. The first hour or two of the day is for me. That's it. Okay. I know she typically wakes up between 7 and 7:30. I'm usually up between 5 and 6. That first 2 hours is mine. Okay, that's when I journal, that's when I pray, I have conversations with God, I plan my day out, I get my day started, whatever. And sometimes it's I just lay there and scroll on my phone. Whatever it is I need to do for me, that's what I do. Okay. That's it. But I also recognize that the start of my day is when my energy is best. I cannot use that time to do things like laundry, to do things like um like any kind of mindless task, like dishes and yeah, all those things can go when my brain doesn't need to be involved. My best brain power is in the morning. Now, hear me again, I am a morning person. I cannot say that that works for you. But what I will say is, wherever your energy peak is, that's where the tasks need to be in order to, the tasks that require your brain should be done when your brain is at its peak. Okay. So if you are not a morning person and you get the most energy towards the later end of the day, you should be starting your day with things like laundry, checking the mail, checking emails, putting dishes away, right? And then as your day progresses, then you want to make sure you are doing some of those tasks like goal setting and planning and like creative energy, right? And again, I also mentioned that I'm an introvert. How does that factor into energy management? I know if I need to have a bunch of like conversations with people, I work in HR, right? It's going to be a day where I got to have a bunch of phone screens and interviews and all these other things. On those days, two things happen. One, I know if I'm going to get anything productive done, it needs to happen before those conversations start. Two, I also know if my entire day is booked with interviews and phone screens and all of that, then I have to just chalk it up. Like that's all I'm doing that day. I don't have the brain power or the energy or the capacity to do much of anything else. And I've also started to limit when phone screens can happen, right? I used to have my entire calendar accessible for candidates to schedule phone screens. Now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I think it's from like 10 to 4. You are not starting my work week. You are not ending my work week. You are not starting my morning, and you are not ending my day with shenanigans. You're just not. Okay? You're just not. And so when I send you my calendar, the only options available are between Tuesday through Thursday, 10 to 4. That's it. And that's what works for me. Energy management. Okay? Okay. And if you need help diving into time management, definitely check out rethinkingmellc.com/shop. We have a lot of digital trainings and downloads that you can get into to kind of walk you through your time management. So get into it. The next thing, y'all, let me tell you, being best friends with a therapist, it be coming in handy sometimes. So she happens to be she's my best friend and my child's godmother, and she happens to be a therapist. Let me be clear. I'm not best friends with my therapist. Okay, let me go ahead and throw it out there. Um, but my best friend happens to be a therapist. And one day we were talking and I'm like, I'm just so overwhelmed. Like I have too many things happening. I feel like I'm missing things. It's a lot going on. Like my brain is all over the place. Right. And she recommended something that was a game changer. And I told her, I was like, listen, I'm still in this. I'm talking about it, and I'm gonna tell everybody I can. Okay, I'm doing it. And so, what she recommended was to write a written list of my priorities. And literally, it's sitting right here on my wall. So, this is my home office. It's sitting right here on my wall. So, if I get overwhelmed, in my home office is typically where I tend to get the most overwhelmed, realistically, right? So, I literally just look up and I see my list of priorities. I have adjusted this list as things have come on or off of my plate. It's literally ranked in order, and I also have the subcategories ranked in order. So, and what that has done is it has allowed me to understand what's more important than what, right? So, my daughter comes first in my life, period. Point blank, period. And I think she should come first in my life. And I think we talked about this in intentional parenting. She did not ask to be here. I asked her to be here. And she is incapable of meeting her own needs. Therefore, she is number one. I'm a close second. Okay, I'm a close second. I do not believe that mothers should be putting themselves at the bottom of the list. Ah. Kayla's number one. I'm number two. Okay. Listen, that's it. That's it. That's it. But it helps me understand. So I have, her, I have me, I have God, I have work, I have business, I have cheerleading, I have the nonprofit I'm supportive, I have my sorority, right? And so when I'm in a position where I'm like, should I do this or this? I've already identified what's more important. I just look at my priority list. And the other thing that it did is it really helped me to get it out of my head. All of the things that I'm responsible for, I don't have to keep track and make sure that I'm not missing something because I have it all written. I have it visual, it's available. All the things that I'm responsible for, all the moving pieces in my life is literally right here and it's out of my brain. It helps. I promise you it does. Within a week, I was like, oh, this feel better. Oh, and I had to call my friend. I was like, listen, you done did that. You did your thing, Miss Mamas. Okay, you did your thing. And along those lines, I want to say a decision that I made, I want to say it was like 2019, like just right, like thank God it was before the pandemic, but 2019, maybe summer 2019, I made the decision to remember nothing. For years, I used to beat myself up about my memory being bad. Ugh, I can't remember anything. Ugh, my mind, my brain, I just can't do it. I used to play like brain games to try to increase my memory ability, like my ability to remember things, all of it, right? Until I decided I don't remember anything, nothing. And here we are, 4 years later. 4 years later. And now I miss nothing because I have created systems to remember for me. I use my resources. Everything goes in my calendar. Before I agree to a thing, I check my calendar to see if I actually am available, right? I use my planner. I use a to-do list in my phone. So if I'm out and about and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got to do this," I put it in my to-do list. Every day when I'm planning out the next day, I literally look at my planner, I look at my calendar, and I look at my to-do list. Everything is there. If there's an important date that I want to remember, like my friend just had surgery on Monday, or so and so's anniversary, or so and so has a job interview, I literally put it on my calendar. I don't have to remember anything, nothing at all. It's beautiful because what it has done, and also I recently started using a habit tracker. So the little things that like, oh, I want to go to the gym this day, this day, this day. I want to go to, I want to make sure that I make my bed every day. I want to, spend time with friends once a month or once a week, or, plan my set goals for the week. All these little things that take up brain space is now in my habit tracker. Use your resources. But on the other side of it, let me just say 4 years into committing to the decision of not remembering anything and creating systems that allow me to do that without actually missing a beat, it has created space in my brain for creative thought. Okay. When you take away the administrative work from your brain, you actually have space to be creative and to think and to hear from God about what He wants to do in your life. And above all, it minimizes the overwhelm. When you take it out of your brain, you actually can hear yourself think. Yes, your brain is capable of administrative work, but that's like asking Steve Jobs to go answer the phones. That's not his role. And not that answering the phones is a problem, but his value in Apple was way different. I'm not going to say better, more, whatever. But because administrative work is important. Hear me. It's critical towards the success of the business. But if you can utilize and leverage technology to keep track of the administrative task, why shouldn't you? Particularly when everything that I just mentioned is free. Get into it. Get in. I mean, maybe a planner is not free, but you buy it once a year. Like, let's get into it. Let's be for real. We tend to glamorize, and when I say we, I'm saying Black women tend to glamorize labor and work and effort. Yes, you should be a hard worker. Yes, you should put effort towards the things that are important to you, but you do not get a reward in heaven for working yourself to the bone. Like, I remember I have a sorority sister and she was like, "Girl, I ain't never used my dishwasher." Why? I promise you the dishwasher can do better than you. You know what I mean? Like, put the and I actually saw this on Facebook recently, and they were like talking about how they wanted to use the dishwasher, but then they were in a state of depression. So let's put that in context. But they were saying how the dishes began to pile up in the sink because the work of having to soak the dishes felt like too much. And so it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the therapist said, run the dishwasher twice. Literally. I use my dishwasher. Okay, let me tell you, I use my dishwasher. I put pots in there, I put pans in there, and if it don't come out clear, I put it back in there. I might soak it. I do soak pots and stuff, like, there are certain things that you soak. But I run a dishwasher. And if I have to run the dishwasher every day, okay. That is a lot better than the manual labor of washing dishes. I need us to realize, in order to do anything in this world, and maybe this circles back to time management, but in order to do anything in this world, you have to spend time or money. Period. Time is the only commodity that you cannot earn more of. And instead, we tend to prioritize money, and we are willing to spend the most valuable commodity on this earth to save money. You can earn more money. You can earn money back. You can increase that, like all of these things, right? You can't get more time. Look for opportunities to save your time and energy, even if that requires you to spend a little bit more than you would have. Like, I know I had a friend, and she was like, girl, I done went to 15 different stores to go here, there, and I'm looking for this, and I'm looking for this, and I'm trying to get a deal. The time and energy, first of all, and the gas you spent driving to 7 different locations where you could have just ordered it on Amazon and it'd have been there tomorrow. Here's the link, baby. Like, here's the link. You know what I mean? Well, it costs more on Amazon. Yeah, but when you factor in how much your time is worth and the money you spent driving all around the state, Amazon might actually be cheaper. But let's get into it. I'm ready to tussle in the comments, okay? If you agree, disagree, let's tussle in the comments. Let me know. But overall, I hope something in this video helped you. And if there is someone that you know that is struggling with balance, make sure you share this episode with them so that they can catch these gems as well. As always, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you can be the first to know when a new episode is dropped. Thanks, guys.